Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are starting a brand new series, and I know I just announced a brand new series, so it's a little bit, it's a lot at one time, but this is another project that I have been hinting at and thinking about doing for a really long time now, basically since I started my Sims YouTube channel, and this is obviously like a thing that a lot of Sims YouTubers tend to do, is creating a save file for The Sims 4. So if you're not sure what that means, basically people like to fix The Sims and recreate all of the lots, all of the households, a lot of the stories, and the entire playability of the save file, and redo everything so that it is maybe themed or a little bit more interesting, or whatever avenue the particular person wants to take it. And then I will be able to export the entire thing as one save that you guys can download, anybody who wants it, and you will be able to put it in your game and then experience the entire save in your game. So I'm really excited because I've wanted to do a save for a while and I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to take it in. If I had done this maybe like a year ago, I probably would have just made it a collection of random builds that I felt like doing at the time, but I always kind of waited and wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, and something kind of told me wait until you can think of what you really want this to be. And I decided that I really want to do a Disney save file. So I kind of did look online to see if anybody else was working on one currently, because I don't want to claim the idea, but I haven't found anybody, and I was a little bit surprised. So I am going to be doing this, and I'm just going to call it the Disney save. So basically how this is going to work, every single lot in the game is either going to be a Disney recreation, a Disney themed lot from various movies all across the board. I am not going to do one build per movie. We could do several that are from Beauty and the Beast. We could do none that are from a specific movie if it's one that I'm not really inspired by. It's going to be a little bit of my interests and what I really want to build. Otherwise, I will never feel motivated to do this, because this is a pretty huge task, and hopefully I will be able to get a large portion of it done here in 2020, but we will see. There is a lot of lots, and if I was to do one a week, I wouldn't even get a quarter of the way through the save file. So there's a lot of work to be done, but I'm really excited, and I felt super inspired to do this, so I'm hoping that I can carry that energy throughout the year and just kind of keep it going. And something to look forward to is sort of the diversity of everything, because currently, and I will get into the build in a moment here and kind of talk about it, we are doing a Beauty and the Beast themed library, and that has been what I really wanted to build for quite a few weeks now. So I got to finally kind of get it out and build it. And I've decided that for this save file, I'm not going to make a ton of rules for myself, because when I feel restricted is when I tend to feel the least motivated to actually complete a project. And I have a lot of series running on my channel that I sort of pick at over time, but the more I feel compelled to do them a certain way, the less likely I am to continue doing them. It's sort of like one of my horrible habits. So I don't want to say all of Newcrest is only going to be these movies, or we're only going to do one build per movie, or make any kind of rules like that. I want it to be whatever I feel like building and whatever interests me the most, and then also whatever feels like the most fun, whatever's going to make the world the most playable. This is something that I want to use after the game is actually over and feel inspired to play, or after I'm done building rather. Although we are getting closer to the end of The Sims 4 life, which is kind of one of the reasons why I want to start this now, so that hopefully I can have it done before they announce that The Sims 5 is coming out. I don't know when that's going to be, but hopefully have it done before then, so that I have one save that I'm really proud of and really feel like I want to actually play The Sims 4 in. So yeah, we are going to be doing households. I will do recreations of all the characters. They might be modern, they might be more classic. What you can expect for sure is that a lot of the builds are going to be very heavily themed. That is a very Disney thing. They are going to be very colorful. You'll see lots of references to the movie, if not complete movie recreations. I haven't kind of decided if I'm going to do movie recreations or if everything's going to feel a little bit more generic. But today's build is actually a generic build. So I decided that I've been really feeling Beauty and the Beast recently. I don't know why. I've been inspired by Prince Adam's castle, the ballroom, the architecture of it all, and I really wanted to do something for Beauty and the Beast. So what is one of the things that makes the most sense? Either I would say some sort of a restaurant, like a themed maybe cafe or like a French restaurant, which we can definitely do at some point down the line. But the other idea that I had was a castle-style library, very reminiscent of Prince Adam's actual castle, very reminiscent of maybe some of the architecture, and interiorly like very high-end, gold, very elegant, old school looking castle library. So this is called The Fallen Rose, and in my save, the story behind it is that Adam and Belle basically got together and they were like, you know, we have a lot of books here at the castle, we have a lot of pieces that are kind of not being seen by anybody, you know, we can't like experience the full castle, and there's so many books in this library that I have that I cannot read all of them. So Belle, being Belle, very generous, very kind soul, wanted to share some of this stuff with the rest of the community. So she decided to open up this little library with Adam, and they created a cool, like English, slightly French, architecturally styled library based slightly off the castle, and then moved a bunch of the books and a bunch of the pieces that they don't get to maybe use as much in certain parts of the castle, and theme the whole thing and do like a really pretty rose themed library. So we're using all sorts of flowers. There's tons of different flowers. It's not all just roses. In fact, some of the items that are marked in The Sims 4 as a rose are not actually roses, and I didn't figure that out until later on in the build when I was sort of doing everything and kind of zooming in and out and looking at some of the flowers up close is when I realized like, oh, that's not actually a rose, even though it says that it is supposed to be. And I really just wanted this to feel extremely elegant, because when I think of Belle, that is what I think of. I think she's probably one of the brightest, smartest, most elegant princesses, and I just wanted something to really represent like her beauty, inner and outer, and have like the whole theming with the roses and everything, which is not an idea that I'm probably going to, I will at one point probably borrow it again, especially if we are going to do like a French cafe or something like that. I could definitely see myself bringing this theme into another lot, but I wanted to really kind of overdo it and do some beautiful gardens around the library, make it a full experience, something that you would enjoy going to besides just going to the library, because I do find from my very little playtime in The Sims, when I have gone to libraries, it's kind of just for the general playability of it. It's not like something that's necessarily fun to do, and I want to make sure that in the save I do as many different lots as possible, as many as there are available in the game. So I didn't want to ignore one, and I was thinking that for a library, obviously Beauty and the Beast is probably the best character to theme an entire lot off of. So this was kind of my one go at this. That doesn't mean I won't do another library in a different world. This will probably be the only library in Newcrest, however. And again, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be doing a bunch of different movies in like a particular world. For example, I know that when we get to Sulani way down the line, this is way down the line, but when we get there, obviously there are a lot of tropical lots, so I could see myself doing Moana themed builds and Lilo and Stitch and obviously like the Little Mermaid and stuff like that. So there's certain worlds that call for certain movies, and I have like a direction that I'm going to be taking it in, but Newcrest is so general. And there are obviously areas that are more neighborhoods and street shops and stuff like that. So I'm going to stick to a lot of that. But I didn't want to set a particular like list of movies that I was going to work with inside Newcrest, because then I feel like I would never complete it. And Newcrest can be like a general, you know, grouping of all different movies, whatever I feel like doing on a particular week. And this week it happened to be Beauty and the Beast. I also want to say that I'm not sure if I'm following like the traditional rules of doing a save file, because for one, I think some people do them without move objects on, which is how traditionally the Sims team will build a house or a lot, so that it is a little bit lighter for a computer to handle. They tend to use like only X amount of objects, and they will probably, whatever world actually comes with what objects. So for example, Get Together comes with like a bunch of objects and a world, so you would only use base game and then Get Together inside that world. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm literally just going to build whatever I want, wherever I want, with whatever I want. So this is going to be pretty massive. If you couldn't tell just from the landscaping on this alone, I don't think there's going to be, you're probably going to have a couple people who are not, your computer might not be able to handle this full save file, but all of the builds are going to go up on the gallery for download. They will be available there right away as soon as a video goes up, just as normal. So if there's 1 or 2 lots that you want to pick up along the way and use in your world, or slowly collect them over time and drop them into your game and sort of build it that way, that is okay too. I'm totally fine with it. And then there are going to be some of you who want to wait until the end and kind of download the whole thing together. And then we will update over time as we get new worlds, as packs are added to the game, and hopefully giving us new lots and new items and stuff like that. I will update accordingly. So it'll be an ongoing project for probably the rest of the Sims 4 days, but I'm really excited because this is something that it interests me, and so many of you know that I am such a huge Disney fan, so this feels like a huge piece of myself finally getting to like create something that's really personal to me and something that I would really enjoy. And I was so surprised to see that I like couldn't find anybody else who had done something similar. So I was really excited to kind of start it as either like a thing that people can be excited for, or a trend, or if anybody else wants to do like a Disney themed world or whatever. I think that's great. I just am super excited to share this with you guys. For this particular lot, I do want to say this uses a lot of Get Famous. This is heavy on Realm of Magic. Realm of Magic came with these beautiful stained glass windows, which obviously coordinate really well with Prince Adam's castle and the Beauty and the Beast theming. And they happen to have like rose-colored swatches, which forever ago, as soon as I saw them, I was like, wow, I really have to do something Beauty and the Beast inspired with these windows. But I never really got around to it, and then Realm of Magic sort of died down. And it can be hard to mix Realm of Magic with other packs sometimes, but I feel like it works so well for the aesthetic, especially on the interior of this build. And I'm absolutely in love with it. There are little roses and flowers and bits here and there. I actually did a ton of landscaping off camera. There was a pretty big jump there where you guys missed a major portion of the landscaping, and it was basically just because I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. A lot of my landscaping is usually pretty freehand, so I will go in and kind of do whatever I want, and it can take me a really long time, as you can see from like the monstrous amounts of plants that I tend to do on any given property, to just kind of figure out what feels natural, what's really pretty, what's something that people in real life would be really like enjoying of and really love the general aesthetic of. I do try to think about like all of my builds as a what would people enjoy in real life kind of thing, and this is definitely something very magical, very, very themed, but I would love to go here. I think that this would be so cozy and beautiful, and I loved the idea of doing the little columns on the edges of the castle as study rooms with little desks in them and like a private bookshelf, and somewhere where maybe you could go with a friend or your significant other and go in there and just read a book together, and it would be like a private, very intimate, cute place to go. I did actually do a romantic aura on this lot, just because obviously Beauty and the Beast definitely has that very romantic aura to it, and I feel like this would just be such a cute place to like meet somebody too. So it's definitely all of that kind of combined. And I did want this to be a cafe. I did want to do like a cafe upstairs, but the one thing with save files obviously is that you want to make sure that you have something to go on every lot. So picking a lot, deciding where things are going to fit, where they're best going to go. Once you decide that, you kind of have to stick with it. And I did this build and then quickly realized it wasn't going to be a big enough lot to do the cafe on this as well. And I do feel like this is going to function a lot better if I just keep it as like a regular old library. Don't make it too complex. Of course, we do have the bathroom. There's some really cool hallways upstairs that you can look out. Nothing like drapery wise to cover those archways, but I didn't really feel like it was necessary. The weather will not affect the inside of that anyway, so maybe a little bit unrealistic there, but I still think it's really pretty. And the archways that are in this build are actually from Realm of Magic, and they do have more of that beautiful rose stained glass up at the top. That's a little bit hard to see, but when you're actually using the build, you will be able to see it, and it came out really nice. I'm very excited for this idea. I hope a lot of you are excited with me, and let me know if you have any particular Disney-themed lots that you would like to see me do, because obviously I'm in the planning stages right now, and I would love to hear your ideas. We are going to stay in Newcrest until it's completed, so we're going to stay here for now, and then we will move on to the next world, which I'm not even sure what that is, and kind of slowly work our way through. I'm also going to be doing the vacation worlds as well, so we will completely redo whatever those are, Granite Falls, and the other one, Seldorada, I think. So those will be done, and that is basically going to be it for my Disney build today. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments section below. Let me know if you are excited for more. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon below to turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time I post, and I will talk to you all in the next one.